I am sick of the regular box PC cases, and so we're 3D printed our own. But this isn't just any old regular 3D printed case. This is the winner of the Maker World TRYX competition. And already I see a lot of problems with the case. But can we make this case actually work? What are some improvements we can make with this case? I already have a lot in mind, so let's get building and we'll see how well this case does. Tell Microsoft to bugger off and get yourself Windows 11 CD keys for 1/10 of the price. Whokeys have a big sale on, and you can use my code IFR25 to get 25% off with loads of payment methods. Copy your code and paste it here to activate. You can even grab Office for your PC for dirt cheap. Don't pay a reoccurring subscription. Use code IFR25 for 25% off. Links are in the description. All Whokeys software products are on sale right now. Okay, our very first problem, the standoff holes, they're 4.5 millimeters in width, which is way beyond the standard standoff screw measurement. And we have to install standoffs because we have this armor on the back of the motherboard. So because I've never really heard of a standoff with a 4.5 millimeter screw width, we're going to have to resin these ones in place so that they fit nice and snug in these holes, and then we'll be able to install the motherboard. Something to keep in mind here is this last screw hole here is directly behind that post. So if you want to get that screw in, the screwdriver has to go in on an angle. It is doable, but just a little annoying. Any motherboards with a bit of a bulky NVMe heat spreader do not fit properly. In fact, I had to remove this top part of the case so that I could widen the gap to fit the motherboard in. And then I've kind of forced it back together, and there's no way I'm getting that NVMe heat shield off anytime soon without removing the motherboard. So this case was designed for a 240mm AIO cooler down the bottom here, but this is the case's biggest mistake. The AIO is down the bottom and the pump would sit on the CPU, meaning that the pump is receiving all of the air bubbles that are in the loop. So to combat that, I've actually decided to just water cool the CPU, because now that we've introduced a reservoir, that will collect the bubbles and they will just go to the top of the reservoir, and therefore we combat that issue. If you look at any case manufacturer spec sheet, they will say that this orientation for AIO CPU cooling is a no-go. I've got a couple of issues here with how the GPU bracket is designed. Number one, first of all, this case cannot accommodate for bigger GPUs. Second of all, this case does not accommodate thicker GPUs. You can only fit a 2-slot card in there. And I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but the bracket is actually in reverse, meaning that the GPU would go in and be installed with the backplate showing, so it wouldn't be able to take in as much air because all it has to draw air through are these little holes on the pegboard. I don't know what's going on there. So to combat this, I am going to install this down the bottom with plenty of room for HDMI and DisplayPort underneath. Yeah, so we're going to be testing the GPU thermals. I mean, it is good that some of the GPU's sticking up and there are still holes in there, but I just don't know how much cool air it's going to be able to take in with the back pegboard design against it. However, that's why we're doing this video, to test out one of the most popular 3D printed cases on MakerWorld. We'll have to wait and see. The creator of this case has obviously put a lot of time and effort in, and you can see it with the design. It's well thought out, but there are just a few things that need to be rectified. Now that we've got the GPU installed, you can see that it is on an angle. The plastic is not enough to hold the weight of this card. In fact, to get this straight, I'm wondering if I just block in here to hold that up, if that will be good enough to keep it nice and straight so it doesn't look odd when viewing it from an angle. Number two, obviously the GPU is backwards. That to me is a big no-no, but there's not much we could do about that with this case. However, I will 3D print my own PCIe bracket in the future to switch that around. Number three, the motherboard standoffs were too big, so we had to do a bit of resin work to get those installed. Number four, the location of the radiator forced me into liquid cooling instead of CPU liquid cooling, because having the pump above the rest of the loop is a big no-no in AIO CPU cooling. And number four, we have absolutely no bracing for parts. So you can see this is already on a lean because of the weight. So eventually I will 3D print some stuff to make this nice and square with the case. Now, considering we only have one hole behind there to bring all of the cables through from the power supply, I imagine that this is going to be pretty messy with the cables, especially when we put the PCIe cable in, but we'll do our best and we'll see what the end result is. Well, the build's together, and honestly, I did the best I could with what I had to work with. Unfortunately, because the GPU mount is backwards, that means that the riser cable is on this side and it's pushing against the 24 pin, which is actually slightly putting this out of alignment, and it's really bugging me. But there's not a lot I can do with it because I have to fit the 24 pin down this edge here and then through the hole at the back there. So I'm kind of stuck here unless I can kind of force it and clamp it into place, but that's not the whole idea behind this video. I want to test the case as is. And to be honest, I'm not really enjoying it. I can see there's a lot of work that's been put into it, but I really don't think that any testing was done, because we've also got the 8-pin CPU power, which is just coming out and around, because there's nowhere to route it down and underneath the motherboard or around there. Cables are not long enough, so by going this way, it avoids a lot of cables showing here and keeps it a little cleaner. Just a little sacrifice I had to make there. But if there was a bit of a hole or something up here to just go straight through, it would have been so much easier. And same deal with the 8-pin. I've just chosen to go around the case instead of trying to go in behind, which I could have done if the GPU was the right way, because it would have been off of the back of the board enough for that to happen, and the riser cable would have just slot in and behind instead of this mess that is right there. Okay guys, Doom the Dark Ages, 1440p, Ultra Nightmare mode. Honestly, I'm not sure what to expect with the GPU, considering that it's right up against that back wall on the case, but hopefully everything turns out all right. I don't know, we'll see. GPU is only hitting around 50 degrees, so it's actually not doing too bad. Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, 1440p, ultra settings. Again, we're only seeing around 50 degrees on the GPU. So honestly, the case doesn't seem to be really affecting the GPU that much. However, because it is off the backboard, because the brace is actually bending, that could be some of the reason why the GPU is getting a little more fresh air, but also it is only a 9060 XT. So if you were to put a higher end GPU in there, if it did fit, of course, that would cook it so much more.